This is surveillance footage of Paul Green, known as the Big Fella, and the ringleader of an international organised crime group behind what's thought to be the largest ever drug smuggling operation detected in the UK. Stephen Martin was the group's finance man. Prosecutors say the gang they led imported heroin, cocaine and cannabis worth an estimated £7 billion. More than a dozen members of the group were convicted at Manchester Crown Court in a trial that lasted almost 2 years. It is the country's longest ever criminal trial. The gang created a complex international web with front companies in the UK and here in the Netherlands, where their drugs were filmed being loaded onto a lorry. They concealed those drugs in consignments of strong-smelling foods like onions. In fact, they bought so many onions, 40 to 50 tonnes a week, that they often couldn't get rid of them and had to send them back to the continent as cover for more drugs. Those drugs they imported were fed to criminal gangs from the southeast to Scotland, each marked to denote which gang they were destined for. The National Crime Agency said what Paul Green was running distributed addiction, misery, social degradation, and in some cases, death.
Criminals like these have no regard to the public and public protection and people. It's all about their greed. It's all financially driven. It's all about financial motives. Paul Green, who was the principal here, he had no regard whatsoever. He recruited people to work in his crime group. He duped innocent members of the public using their bank accounts. Even on one occasion, he took out a mortgage in an innocent member of the public's name to repay a drug debt. And that's the lengths that these people go to.
What was laid out in court was, the National Crime Agency said, a setup that any multinational company would have been proud of.
Police, open the door.
At the time of his arrest, more than £1.5 million had passed through the bank accounts of Paul Green and his wife. He was jailed for 32 years for running what the judge described as drug smuggling on an industrial and hitherto unprecedented scale. Greg Milam, Sky News.